Hello to all students. Today we are discussing here a very important topic, and that is known as the outline of the animal classification. Okay. Now very first, the animals are classified into two major categories based on the level of the organization, and these two categories are the protozoa and the metazoa. Okay. Now the protozoans are having the protoplasmic level of body organization, means here the acellular body is performing all the biological activities of the body, while here in the metazoans the organisms are having either cellular grade or tissue grade or organ grade of body organization. Okay. Now the metazoans are again classified into two categories. The metazoans are classified into two categories. One is known as the parazoa and another is known as the eumetazoa. Okay, eumetazoa are also called as enterozoa. Right? Now, what is the chief difference between the parazoa and the eumetazoa or the metazoans? So the difference is that the parazoans are not having tissue organization, while in eumetazoa or the metazoans, the cells combine to form tissues and tissues can combine to form organ and later on organ system. So parazoans are not at all having tissue organization, and the parazoa is only having one phylum. The parazoans are only having one phylum, and that phylum is called as the Porifera. Porifera means they are pore bearing organisms, though they are multicellular, but in them the cells are present in loose aggregates and they are not able to form the tissue, and that's why they have cellular grade of body organization, while in eumetazoans the cells combine to form tissues, so they may have tissue and organ grade of body organization. Okay. Now the eumetazoans or the eumetazoa creatures are divided into two divisions, or they are classified into two divisions. One is known as the radiata and another is known as the bilateria, right? And this classification or these two divisions are based on the symmetry, means radiata are having radial symmetry and bilateria are having bilateral symmetry. Now we must know that what do we mean by radial symmetry. So any plane which is passing through the center, if divides the body into two equal halves, then it is called as radial symmetry. And what is bilateral symmetry? When an organism can be divided into two equal halves, that is right and left half, only in one plane, that is vertical plane or longitudinal plane, then such type of the symmetry is called as bilateral symmetry. Okay, so they have bilateral symmetry and they have radial symmetry. Okay, now the division radiata, right, have tissue level of body organization. They have tissue level of body organization because the radiata and bilateria are the divisions of eumetazoa, and eumetazoans have tissue or organ system level of body organization. So the division radiata have tissue level of body organization and they have two germ layers, ectoderm and endoderm, and that's why they are called as diploblastic. That's why they are called as diploblastic, because they have two germ layers. The best example of the division radiata are the two phylums. One is the Coelenterata, to which the Hydra and all other organisms belong, and the Ctenophores, which are also called as the sea walnuts commonly, are also included in the division radiata. So the division radiata have two phylums, Coelenterata and Ctenophora, while the division bilateria is having organ system level of body organization and they have three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and that's why they are called as triploblastic. Fine. Now, the division bilateria is a big division, and again it is classified into two subdivisions. The division bilateria is classified into how many subdivisions? Two subdivisions. One is known as the protostomus and another is known as the deuterostomus. You can also call it as protostomates and deuterostomates. Okay, and this classification is based on the embryonic development. Now the question arises, what do you mean by protostomates? So if during the embryonic development, if the blastopore forms the mouth, first, then the organisms are called as protostomates. And if during the embryonic development, if the blastopore first forms the anus and then forms the mouth, then the organisms are called as deuterostomates. Okay. Now, again, based on coelom, that is the body cavity and all. Okay. So based on coelom, the protostomates are classified into three categories. The protostomates are classified into how many categories? Three categories: acoelomata, pseudocoelomata, eucoelomata. Okay. Now it's very simple. Acoelomata means they don't have any type of coelom. A means absent, coelomata means coelom. Coelom is absent. Pseudocoelomates means they have a false coelom. A false coelom is a coelom which is not lined by mesoderm. And eucoelomate means they have a true coelom. A coelom which is lined by a mesoderm is called as a true coelom. Okay. The best example of acoelomate is Platyhelminthes phylum. Platyhelminthes phylum means flatworms. They are flatworms. Why they are flat? Because they are not having any sort of coelom. So the best example of the acoelomate is the phylum Platyhelminthes, commonly called as flatworms. The best example of the false coelom, that is the pseudocoelomates, is the Nematahelminthes, or you can call it as nematoda, or you can call it as Aschelminthes, that is the roundworm. Okay. And third one is the eucoelomates. Which are having a true coelom, in which the coelom is lined by mesoderm. So I have quoted here three examples: Annelida, mollusca and arthropoda. All have a true coelom. But remember this thing, that annelids have a true coelom called cygocele. And also mollusca and arthropodas are also having basically the cygocele only. What is cygocele? A coelom which is formed by the splitting of mesoderm. Is called as the cygocele. So you can also call it as that annelids, mollusca and arthropods have true coelom, but that true coelom is formed by the splitting of the mesoderm, right, and hence called cygocele. One more thing I will be liking to tell you here, that in mollusca and arthropoda, the coelom is also called hemocele. What is a hemocele? Hemo means some blood, fluid, and cele means coelom. A coelom which is filled with some fluid and they are lacking a proper circulatory system. Hemocele cavity is what? A fluid filled cavity, and they are having they are lacking a proper circulatory system. Such type of the coelom is called as the hemocele, and they are also called as the hemocoelomates. Okay. So here the true coelom is called as the cygocele. Now, the another subdivision known as the deuterostomates, they are having true coelom only. They are not having these three types of the coeloms. They are always eucoelomates, means they have a true coelom only, and the coelom, these eucoelomates are included here, or we can say it as three phylums are included here: echinodermates, hemichordates and chordates. Echinodermates hemichordates and all chordates are eucoelomates, okay, and they have a true coelom. They have a true coelom known as the enterocoel. They have a true coelom known as the enterocoel, and enterocoel is a coelom which is formed by the fusion of the gut pouches. Again, I am repeating, the enterocoel is a type of a true coelom which is formed by the fusion of the gut pouches. Fine. So in today's video, we have discussed the general outline or the outline sketch of the animal classification, and this outline sketch will be helpful to study the animal kingdom in a better way. So thanks a lot for watching me.